What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Hey, this is your host, Demetrius, with the PPP, Panthers Prime Podcast, man. I hope everybody's doing good. Yeah, man. Hey, we rolling today, man. Yeah, what's going on? Hey, Poppy, what's up, man? Raw Walk, what's going on, man? Hope y'all doing good, man. Hey, it's a beautiful Saturday. I'm up here in West Virginia. You know, we hanging out, we chilling, man. We chilling. Hey, we got a conversation to have today, man. We got a conversation to have, man. Can the Carolina Panthers flip this script that's been written about them? Can they do it? I think they can, man. I think they can. Yo, shout out to everybody that's in the chat already, man. Shout out to everybody that's already pulled up, man. If you guys haven't, hit the subscribe button for me, man. It takes 2 seconds. It's free to do. Helps me get to that goal that we have now of 1,500 subs. So do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, man. Let's turn this thing up, man. Let's turn this thing up. So real quick, let's get into this, man. Let's get into this content real quick. Currently, right now, I'm in West Virginia, so I don't got my whole setup, so we're not doing the cam today. But let's talk about this. Can the Carolina Panthers flip this script that we've seen, that we've been shown since week one, really since preseason? You know, we've had games where we've only scored on uh, Eddie Pinheiro field goals, and, you know, we can't get the run game going. The offense in itself has been just deplorable. We haven't seen much enthusiasm in the second half in a lot of our games. You know, the Carolina Panthers really do stink on offense. And it's difficult being a Panthers fan for the past 6 years. You know, we've been the laughing stock of the NFC South. You know, we're no longer contenders. We're no longer feared, you know, like how we was when we had Cam Newton here. At least, you know, when we had Cam, we were going to make it at least into the playoffs. Like, playoffs was a conversation that was going to happen. You know, now it's hard to even talk about 7, 8 wins for the Carolina Panthers. So this is a script that has been written about the Carolina Panthers for a long time. You know how everybody talks about the script that the NFL puts out, that the Eagles are going to do this, and then week 3 someone's going to do this and stuff like that. Like, this has been, whoever wrote this script for the Carolina Panthers, I need you to turn in your pen and your paper, because I believe that this week, this week we start to see a new thing in Carolina. I believe that this week everything starts to look different. Now, what I mean by everything, what I'm talking about is this. I'm talking about our offensive line. Nash Ginsing, you know, us bringing in Gabe, moving around some offensive pieces from guard to this, to that, to that. You know, I believe that we start to see a change. We're writing a new script on this offensive line. I believe that we're writing a whole new script on this offensive line. I think that Bryce is going to have a lot more time against Tampa Bay this week. Nash Ginsing had a great rookie come out party, whatever you want to call it, against the Tennessee Titans. Did a lot of good things in a short amount of time. And I think that continues on over into this Tampa Bay game. All right? Let's talk about this running back room. The verdict is still out with the running backs. I'm going to be honest with you. I want to see how they're going to utilize Chuba Hubbard, Raheem Blackshear, and Miles Sanders this week. I want to see what type of schemes they go to, you know, what type of running scheme they use. I want to see more exotic, you know, run plays. What's up, Marcos? What's going on? How you doing, man? You know, I want to see those things happen. And hopefully, the Carolina Panthers, let's see if we can put this in the chat real quick. Let's see, post comment, boom, boom, boom. Let's put that right there. Let's put that right there. Whenever y'all want to pull up, y'all can pull up on me. Yeah, there we go. Boom. So I feel like I want to see more from this running back room. I want to see more creativity. I want to see some misdirection stuff. I want them to utilize Bryce's ability to, in fact, run the RPO. I want to see it. I want to see Bryce get active in this offense. It's going to take a lot of pressure off of Bryce implementing this new run scheme and RPO and misdirections and stuff like that. I want to see these things. So my question is, can the Carolina Panthers flip this script? Yes, they can. Offensive line is going to change. I want to see more from the running backs. This wide receiver core, I believe with the addition of Mike Strong, I believe with the addition of Mike Strong this week, we're going to see a lot more elusiveness. We got Amir Smith Marset in the game last week too against Tennessee. And what's up, man? What's going on, everybody? We would defeat, we would dominate the game. Yeah. What's up? What's up, Doug? What's going on, man? Young Mello said they can, but Bryce don't have it in them. Young Mello, you know, the one thing about this right here, and I'm gonna go back to what I was saying. The one thing about this week right here, there's always a rallying that happens with teams after a coach gets fired. Let me take your minds back to the Raiders game. Raiders lost bad against the Lions, fired the head coach. Next two games, they got on the win streak until they got to Miami. And of course, Miami's a buzzsaw. You got Waddle, you got Tyreek Hill. I think Robbie Anderson was still in the mix somewhere, somehow. I think that's the week that 18 came back or whatever. So, I mean, come on, that's a powerhouse. We get it. But don't think for a second that the fact that they fired their head coach, that it did not rally this team behind the interim coach, who is, to me, he's Raiders all day. Like, he just looks like a Raider. You know what I mean? Got that big Suge Knight look. You know what I mean? And he just looks like a Raider. He embodies what being a Raider is. And that same thing emulates from the coach right over to the players. So, does Chris Tabor emulate keep pounding? That's the verdict is still out. I saw some videos last year of him, getting real juiced up. That's something we ain't see Frank do. We ain't see Frank get juiced up, and that woo woo we saw that woo woo we saw when he was giving Thomas Brown the game ball. That was just forced. We know that for a fact. Yeah, man. Young Miller said that the Raiders have more pieces. Yeah, I mean, hey, you know what? But guess what, Young Mello? We're in the NFC South. We're only 4 games out from being the top of the division. Now, hold your horses. I'm not saying that we are going to be at the top of the division. What I'm saying is we're only 4 games away. The Bucks have lost the last 6 out of the 7 games that they've played. They're on a losing streak. They have 3 starters out this week. We just activated J.C. Horn, Jeremy Chin, and YGM. We just brought on Gabe from the Seattle Seahawks, Nance Jensen. We got another defensive end that's going to be starting up on tomorrow. Guys, not only did the offense improve, the defense, but the offense improved. Both sides of the ball have improved on paper, depth chart wise. So one can only assume that this week starts a new script for the Carolina Panthers. They have an elite running back, wide receiver, and a good tight end. Yeah. Hey, listen. Sullivan's gonna get going. Raheem Blackshear's gonna get going. And Amir Smith Marset's gonna get going. Hopefully we see I don't think Terrence Marshall Jr. was no, he is. I think Terrence Marshall Jr. is playing in this game as well. Thomas Brown said every healthy person that's available is gonna play in this game. So I'm about to let C Dougie up. C Dougie, what's up, man?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good, man. Let me
Hey,
ask you a question, man. Let
hold
me ask
on,
you a
hold on,
question.
John the Baptist. John the Baptist. Why are you up
Oh,
here
oh, oh,
feeding? Why
I'm
are you
I'm
up
John
here?
the Baptist.
Yes, you John the Baptist this afternoon over here.
I'm John the
Pre pre
Baptist. So you don't
pre
think that
pre.
the Carolina Panthers are going to be able to flip the script?
So again, why do we do this to ourselves every year? We do this to ourselves every year. The last 3 to 4 years, when we get a new interim coach or an NFC South is porous or not good, we always think, oh, we get a new change. Oh, Carolina can possibly make a playoff run. Nobody has ever thought about that this whole year. Now all of a sudden with Frank Wright, now the narrative is, oh, we're only 4 games out of first place. No, like we got to stop that. We got to stop that because that's that mediocre mindset that we are having as fans, where we want to say, oh, we're finally doing something right, this, or that. Why can't we win the day? Like Chris Taper said, win the day. Do what we need to do. Focus on ourselves, focus on development, focus on growth, and focus on getting ready to go into the 2024 season, regardless if he's at the helm, whoever. Why is it that we always have to jump the gun and say, oh, now we're in playoff mode? Now we can possibly make the playoffs with the flipping of the script or, a new coach at the helm? Why is that?
Yeah, I think that you went a little bit beyond what I even said, C. Dougie. Never at one time did I ever indicate that we was gonna make the playoffs. I'm saying, can the Carolina Panthers flip this script that's been written about us for the past 6 years? One that
So
says that we have an anemic offense. Our defense has always been pretty good over the past 6 years. But all I'm saying is, for this season right here, are we now going to see the Panthers flip this script from not scoring one or two touchdowns or any touchdowns in the game to possibly scoring two, maybe three tomorrow?
the
That's a
problem,
that,
the problem I
that's a
have,
script change right there. Are the
I
running
believe
backs
that.
going to get going tomorrow? That's a script change. Will the offensive line hold tomorrow? If you ask
That's
me,
the problem. That's the problem. The offensive
what's the
line is
problem?
I'm done with James Campen as the O line coach. And I've said this earlier with two fans in the stand. If you look at some of the offensive linemen that we've had underneath James Campen being the coach, they have been playing out of position and they have not been getting the proper opportunity to play. Like Deontay Brown should be activated. I actually know he's not probably in game shape, but Deontay Brown should be definitely starting. Like I don't understand the rotation. I understand Nash Jensen. I actually am high on him. But again, James Campen and his running scheme or the scheme that he has for the offensive line has been figured out. That's the reason why he got fired in Green Bay. He had a good year, and the following year they were bad. They gave him one more year, and they were even worse than they were his second year. So that is almost a rinse and repeat that we're seeing with what James Campen has done with the offensive line. Nobody has progressed. Everybody has regressed, and everybody is figuring out his scheme schematically as an offensive line coach.
Okay, so let me ask you this question: just offensive line right now.
Hmm.
Do you think that it's more so scheme, or do you think it's also um, players' abilities to
You're
handle
not
the
matching the
workload?
player's abilities
No,
because
no, 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 no,
again,
no, 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 no. Listen to the question. Do you think that it's a scheme, or do you think that it's the player's ability to operate that scheme?
mm, reason why I think is the player's ability because if you're not mistaken, you remember James Campen came out before they had summer break and said this is the most cohesive. This is the offensive line that understands exactly what he's looking for. He has 2 years underneath his belt with most of these guys except for the rookies. So it's on him because he came out and said that they know their assignments. He doesn't have to reteach. He doesn't have to teach assignments. Everybody knows their job. Did he not say that? He said
He
that. I mean,
did.
we can pull
He
the
did
clip.
say that.
We
He
can
did
pull the
say that.
clip. So that's what I'm saying. Again, it's on James Campen. When you look at it, he came out his own mouth, being an offensive line coach with those men in his room. He came out and said, "This is our second year underneath me as being an O line coach. The cohesiveness, I understand the injuries, but he said we even have fillers if somebody goes out." So that's where I said it's on James Campen because if he knows the personnel in his room, so called like he said it, it wouldn't be this bad, and people would not be regressing. And I think we have players playing out of position as well.
Okay. Do you think that these players, just and we're just highlighting offensive line right now? Do you think that these players on the offensive line that we have right now are decent?
Yes, but they're playing out of position.
Okay, so you think it's just being so if we move one person over from tackle to guard and flip flop it like that, you think that that's going to make a difference?
We need two, but one person is on the IR, so I can't really say that because again, now that leaves a hole at left tackle.
Okay, I got you. So you just think it's more so placement on the line, not necessarily the player.
Hmm.
Okay.
Correct. Well, I'll
Well.
give you this. Think about it. Okay, the player that we're me and D are not trying to say is Brady Christensen. Brady Christensen
Mm-hmm.
was what he was graded out as PFF. I know you look at PFF grades
Mm-hmm.
on the Panther Prime podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What was he graded out as when he came out of the draft?
See, Doug, you still there?
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. What you say?
Okay, I said what was Brady Christensen drafted out as when he came out in his draft class? What was he
Oh, I,
known
I
to
don't, I,
be?
I don't, I don't remember that.
Okay, he was the number one left tackle in his class.
Okay.
Number one. And the one thing Matt Rule and them said was he cannot play left tackle because he does not have the correct arm length. So you're telling me a player that went and did a pro day and went to the combine along with all the different, the SEC, the ACC, the Big 12, the Big 10 left tackles, he out competed them and graded out as the highest left tackle coming out of BYU, which is an independent school. And he was also able to keep clean Zach Wilson whenever he was there at BYU along with Zach Wilson. So when he gets in the NFL, then you move him to guard, play him at a position that he is not used to. Even though they use that versatile word, he was known to be the number one left tackle coming out of his class. Now he's played guard. He had to lose weight or gain weight to get at the acclimated weight to play guard. And now you see where we need to switch out Icky to play guard, and now you need to play Brady Christensen at left tackle. Brady Christensen has never had a legit shot at playing at left tackle in the league. He's started a couple games, but he's never had a fair shot without getting shuffled and getting pushed back inside the line.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this question, and I'm just gonna go left guard, left tackle.
Hmm.
What's the difference in the two?
The lateral movement and the kick out, and we know that. Me and you talk
Okay.
about that behind the scenes.
Right. Right. So these players that we have here, and the reason why I asked you that question is because I understand that the scheme is a little bit, whatever it
Hmm.
may be, but I think we just got the wrong players. Because I think if and I could be wrong because I didn't play football. I should have. I'm big enough to have. I should have played football. I wanted to play music, but and trust me, and Poppy knows more about this than me. But I'm under the assumption that if I play left tackle, haven't I not? Because with left tackle, you're more lateral movement. You're doing more
Correct.
lateral movement than you are with
Correct.
guard. Am I correct?
Correct. That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. So if you're at left tackle and I put you to left guard, shouldn't you be better at that position?
Should you be better at left
At
guard?
left guard than left
Correct.
tackle.
Correct.
Okay. So
I already know where you're getting at. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah,
Go
you see
ahead.
I'm walking
Now,
that dog, right?
look. You try to spin a fast one, but I already know where you going with it. I'm already tracking.
And that's all I'm saying. If I move you to a position that's supposed to be quote unquote easier, in my mind, you should be at least a little bit better or perform better in that guard position than that tackle position. But
That's a
when
fact.
it's the opposite, and or either it's the same result, I have to say now that it's actually not the scheme, it's not the placement of where you're at, it's the player
It's
in
the
that regard.
personnel. I see what you're saying with the personnel, but again, I'm looking at you drafted this personnel.
Hmm.
And if we remember, James Kemper was so adamant of us drafting Zavala. He was so happy in the draft room, pumping his fist back
Hmm.
there, whenever Zavala was on the phone. So now, again, I'm looking at if you wanted this particular player and you actually know you had to coach them up, what is the problem where you can't coach this particular player up and you vouch for us to draft him?
Hmm.
And from what my understanding is, he was a high commodity for A lot of teams that draft him. A lot of teams were upset that we got him at the spot that we got him at. So
Right.
that's where I'm saying again, is it coaching? Because I will give an example with this. I told D this when we talked on What's Up, Doug, or behind the scenes. The Philadelphia Eagles are outplaying their coaches. And that is one thing that is possible doing. In basketball, I play basketball. You can out coach, you can outplay your coaches. Like, you can
Okay.
make a coach look good. Players can make a coach look good.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
sometimes you need coaching as well. So that's where I'm looking at it as James Campen wanted Zavala, but Zavala needs tools and tooling to get better. But I don't think James Campen can do that. Because again, I look at Icky. Regardless of how people felt about Icky his rookie year, now people are putting the buzzword with your supposedly starting left tackle. Yes, we know Icky has cement feet. We know he cannot move out of a kick out spot so quick. It's so slow. But the
Right.
advantage of having Icky is if you put him at left guard, that lateral movement, what was the number one thing with Icky that he was supposed to be coming out of the draft? One of the best offensive linemen in the run game. And
Hmm.
only thing he has to do laterally is go left and right to play guard, and he will be the pulling guard when it comes to the run game. Also, if Icky did move to guard, he would be one of the biggest offensive linemen to play guard in the NFL right now.
Okay. My Here's my only issue with Icky. Here's my only issue. I know we say Icky ain't got a good kick out step, but Icky ain't strong enough to me as well up top.
Okay,
Icky began put
I
Icky
would
began
say this.
pushed back. He began pushed around. Like to me, it's a level of personal strength, personal conviction when it comes down to Icky.
That's the whole
Like
offensive line. Then don't just point Icky out.
no, no, no.
Look at Bozeman. Look at Bozeman.
I got to point Icky out for right now because he's in a
Okay.
position right now. He's in a position right now where last year he played this position. He was decent, but we understood why. Now you're in the totality of a passing offense, right? This is the
Hmm.
totality of it. This is the bulk of it of your experience right now, or your experience is at passing, you know, pass blocking, pass protection this year,
Hmm.
and I have to grade you at an F because we've seen multiple times, three back-to-back plays with the Dallas Cowboys where he got burned, and he didn't get burned only with the lateral step, he got burned up top as well.
Hmm.
People pushing your
So
arm out the way like you have no personal conviction.
so do you blame another coach? I'll go in strength and conditioning. Does that come into play?
I think so. Strength and conditioning comes into play with that. Um, just the overall I don't think a lot of players don't have that mentality like Kobe. Like I'm going to be the personal best player at this position.
Hmm.
Like anytime you step on the field, I'm better than you. They may say it, but the behind the scenes stuff don't match up to what they're saying. So Icky came in last year, you know, best run blocking probably ever in his life. But you didn't look at all phases of this game and say I'm going to be better than I was previous years at pass protection because we see no change, no growth, none of that stuff. Even from the short time from week 1 to now week 13. Have you seen Icky improve in pass protection?
You know, I've seen Icky in person, and the problem again, no. But the thing that I will say too, he hasn't had a starter consistently throughout the season. It's been Russian roulette over there that at that left guard position beside him. So sometimes it does not excuse his assignment, but you know, you want that cohesiveness where you have a player that you know that's going to be working with you every single week. You want to know that, hey, we know when it comes to this particular play, you move to the right, I move to the left. Some of that, again, the cohesiveness of the offensive line has been hit due to injury. That's the only excuse I would give for that. But again, Icky, personnel wise and personal wise, he could be a lot better. But I have to look at the coaching because again, you're only good as your coach. But that's where I said talent can oversee and supersede your coaching.
Hmm. Let me ask you this question. People may not like this. Was Steve Wilkes a better coach for Icky than Frank Wright?
Yeah, I'll say this. Like I said, I've been apologizing all over this whole week. I wanted Steve Wilkes gone. I did. I wanted a fresh start. Um, Frank Wright was kind of a fresh start, but he still had some lingering going on. With him being the first quarterback there. Um, I think we did have identity with Steve Wilkes, and that was a run first team. You had a team that was built and a team that believed. But I think what hurt Wilkes is he wanted to keep everything the same, and you can't. There's no way you're going to be able to keep, Al Holcomb, whoever we had at offensive coordinator last year. Once
It was
it was a
Ben
different
Matthews, I
regime,
believe.
yeah, there's no way that would have been able to go through, and we would have been okay with that.
Well, do you think he would have kept Ben? Was that
If he,
reported or was that just speculated?
I think that was speculated, but think about it. If he was able to keep, if he was going to keep Al Holcomb, why were you going to keep Al Holcomb? I understand you and Al Holcomb are friends, but you keeping friends can get you fired as well, and that's what happened.
Well, I mean, that's I can see your point to that only if they didn't, you know, if even if they didn't do good, I can understand why.
Well,
But
I would
going
say this:
since it's
when Wilkes got hot, when Wilkes went through the interview process, there was reports coming out of Charlotte that they asked him who was he going to bring in for coaches, and the coaches that he was going to bring in did not look well at all. They didn't meet the criteria or the metric. Do you remember that? Whenever they said that he came in,
I remember them
they
saying that, yeah,
asked him. He pulled a sheet out and said, "I'm gonna hire X, Y, and Z," and
yeah.
they said, "No, that's not gonna happen." And that's when he
And I
lost the
bet
job
X,
right
Y, and
there.
Z would have been better than this 1-10 team. I
Well,
bet you X, Y, and Z would have
I
been
will
better.
say this. I will say this. We were all, and I was one that was happy as well. The coaching staff that Frank Wright put together was great. Nobody
Hmm.
thought we'll be able to get some of the coaches that we did.
Hmm.
And again, that's where we went off of hope rather than philosophy.
Right.
But I understand why we didn't go along with. Well, I don't because I don't know the names. I understand why we went with Frank because of the pipe dream of coaches that he had. Nobody thought Frank Wright would get all the caliber coaches that he was able to get on that staff this year.
Hmm.
Nobody thought that. And now when you look at it again, now you got the coaches, but you don't have the personnel to coach it up. And
Right.
I understand the whole back and forth of the CJ Stroud, the Bryce. The problem again still is the roster wasn't built correctly. And that's where, people are asking why Scott Fitterer has been so quiet. Why Scott Fitterer, his name hasn't been put out. Trust me. Scott Fitterer is the only reason why he's at this job right now because of for personnel reasons. That if we have injuries and we need to add somebody or et cetera. Other than that, Scott Fitterer's job is gone. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
do
done.
not and I think if you want a new coach, unless you keep a coach on the roster to be your new head coach, a coach is not going to want Scott Fitterer to be their GM. They want to bring their own GM in, or
Hmm.
vice versa. The GM wants to bring a new GM wants to bring in their own coach. But I think
Right.
what we're going to probably do this route is get our own coach and then get a new GM. Either way, I don't know how to feel about it because I don't know if it's a right or wrong way how to do it. But I don't think Scott Fitterer would be here because just look at all the decisions where, again, Miles Sanders was brought because of Deuce Staley. Hayden Hurst was brought in because of Frank Wright. Then you bring in DJ Chart, who always wanted to work with Frank Wright. All three of those off-season acquisitions have not built up or lived up to the hype. So those are the ones that you call bust, who are veterans. But again, I look at the coaching because some of these players are all producing at other destinations. So is it coaching or is it outdated players that can't fit the scheme that they try to force upon these players?
Okay. I got you. I got you. So let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this question. Can the Carolina Panthers flip the script, C. Dougie?
Can I ask a question with a question? I know you're not supposed to do that. You know you're not supposed to do that. So
Hey, you ain't
uh, uh,
supposed to do that.
yeah, so
I'm gonna
let
give you this one pass. Go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out what you mean by flip the script. Are we talking? Only reason I'm trying to make sure if I give the answer, we're talking wins and losses. Are you talking about progression? What exactly do you mean by that? That's the reason why I'm just trying to
So
make sure.
so yesterday I made a yesterday I made a podcast yesterday, just talking about, can the Carolina Panthers do this, do that, do this, do that, or whatever, right?
Hmm.
So, my biggest thing in that podcast was seeing an offensive change, starting up tomorrow with Tampa Bay.
Hmm.
Getting the offense going, seeing some more dynamic players going down the field with the acquiring of, a new offensive guard, bringing in Nash Jensen and everything like that. We see on the defensive side, we've gotten back three players, three starters. You know, I'm asking, with everything that we have going on right now, new coaching staff, just fired our old head coach, and I mean just everything, the rallying factor that comes into play when this stuff happens. Do you think we're still
Hmm.
going to be the same old Carolina Panthers following that same old script that we've been seeing for the
Mm-mm.
past 12 weeks? Or do you think we flip the script and start to move forward with a new script being written?
No, I think
That's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
everything's gonna. I think everything's gonna look different. I mean, you're getting healthy at the right time, like you said. You're bringing players back. Um, I think we will finally be able to see Thomas Brown call plays for himself. I do think Frank Wright still had a say so in that, even though Thomas Brown was the play caller for
Right.
the 3 games that he did get. I do. Only thing that will stay the same and what's been consistent is special teams. Special teams hasn't been bad all year. I think it's going to be the same. Only thing I was really wishing to see was Tariq Cohen possibly get opportunity at punt return or kick returner. I don't know if we will see that. I hope we do not see Blackshear or I cannot think of his name, the wide receiver that you want to see as a
Amir Smith Marset.
yeah
I want
yeah.
to see Wright. I want to see Wright back there.
Yes, that's what I said. Both of those two players need to be utilized on offense, and then you
Yeah.
switch it, and you get a new punt returner and kick returner. That's the reason why I thought Tariq Cohen, will get opportunity with, but has not. So overall, yes, we are going to see a flip of the switch. I don't know how that's going to be, if it's going to work, but I do know for sure Thomas Brown is going to use a lot of preset motion, which helps your offense to do disguises. Defensive wise, I'm glad J.C. Horn is coming back. That's one of my favorite Panther players since we drafted. I know he's been hurt, but I'm ready to see what he can do. I see the smile on his face when they were interviewing him yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You do get Jeremy Chin back. I just seen YGM just got reinstated. Don't know how much he'll play. He's questionable. So they're getting healthy at the right slash wrong time. But again, you still have games to play where you can see the value of a particular player.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And as I was sitting down here thinking, driving up the road here, I'm in West Virginia right now, driving through the mountains. I started thinking, I was like, you know what? We might see a little surge over the next 6 weeks. Can we possibly go 500 in the next 6 weeks, man?
See, see,
That's
see, 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 for me, I was one of those fans that be like, yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. But I'm not doing that anymore because we have to remember what we're going through now. If we go 6-6, good. I want us to win out. But at the same time, you got to remember what we're actually going through right now. We're in that transition period. Like I said, Chris Tabor is your interim, but we're in a transition period to get another coach now. So what does
okay.
6-6 really do for us? Does if we make the playoffs, good. But I mean, but what does it really do? Because does it show that we hired the wrong coach? Does it show that Chris Tabor or the leadership there as coaches could have possibly did it themselves? We don't know. But again, like one of the favorite football movies, any given Sunday.
Any
Any
given
given Sunday,
Sunday,
you
man.
never know. You
Hmm.
don't know what you're going
Hey,
into. You don't know
it's
how
man
your
on
team is going to
man.
play.
It's man on man. Pause. You know who? Who wants it? Who wants it more? who, who
Yeah.
who wants it more? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
well, I will
the
say this.
past couple of weeks,
I
we've been
think
getting
they we
little
will be
boy.
fine with that.
You
Yeah,
say
we'll be
what?
fine with that because I said we'll be fine with that because Chris Tabor was able to see the leadership and he almost has the same exact speech as
As
Steve
Steve Wilkes.
Wilkes.
Yep, he do. Yeah,
So
yeah,
he knows that mindset. He was able to see what that team was able to do underneath his short
yeah,
regime of being an interim.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey man, I'm not gonna lie. If the Carolina Panthers come out tomorrow like how they came out against Miami, you know, I think that this podcast here was a foreshadowing of definitely what's about to happen. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm just looking at it. I'm looking at all the pieces that are coming back. I'm looking at how they're moving. Thomas Brown now. It's almost like a cloud of oppression has been lifted. You know, Frank Wright want to hold on to the play calling for 1,000 years. Don't want to give it over to,
Hmm.
don't want to give it over to your offensive coordinator, which was so weird. And he made the best statement in the world. He said, "Well, I don't know the guy."
Yep,
when you get a
he did
job,
say that.
when you get a
You're supposed,
job,
you're supposed to acquaint yourself with that new person. Yeah,
when you get a
yeah, that's
job,
right. That's a
man,
fact.
the job don't hold back the job duties of that job because they don't know you from a hole in a wall.
That's a
you
fact.
know,
I
I,
would say this. You made a good point. It's almost like a cloud is lifted. We've heard that saying before when it comes to new beginnings. A cloud is basically lifted off the Carolina
yeah,
Panthers. It was gloomy. It was
yeah,
dark. We still got fans fighting over if Bryce is a bust or not. I know where you stand because again, I talked to you off. We know what Bryce can be, but I think a lot of people don't want to be patient, and patience is a thin word with our fan base because of what we've been through the last 4 years.
oh yeah,
So
no, absolutely, man.
I understand the uproar. I understand that we need to get it right. But the only thing I can hope for and pray for is David Semper has learned from his ways. And that is a long spelled out hope because we see what Houston's been able to do. We saw what Detroit was able to do. Those are two examples. You were able to see what Jacksonville was able to do. Jacksonville is almost kind of sort of the same thing that Carolina is going through when they did have Urban Meyer and then they finally got Doug Peterson. That's the only
Hmm.
thing I can compare it to. Houston was terrible for years, but now they were able to draft and they got CJ Stroud. They got a couple of decent defensive pieces through the draft. But if you really want to look at a comparison contrast, look at Jacksonville, how they had Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer was a hot commodity name. You know what he was able to do at Florida. We knew what he was able to do at Ohio State. And they got Trevor Lawrence. He was there for, I think, 2 years with Trevor, if I'm not mistaken. And then they got Doug Peterson. So
Right,
for me, I really think, like you said, we can flip the script, but we have to lower our expectations right now. And why I say that is because again, this roster is not really built to win, but you can see something different. Defensive
right,
wise, yes. Offensive wise, no. But defenses can win you games and win you championships. Like I said,
right.
I'm really expecting Bryce to look very different underneath Parks Frazier. I've been saying it all week. Me and PPP definitely been on different podcasts, and I have shot it from the rooftop. Parks Frazier's name. Parks Frazier is going to show a lot of hands on with Bryce Young. A lot. You're going to see a difference. Trust me, it may not be in 1 week, like you said, possibly in New Orleans. It gives us enough time to acclimate with the play calling of Thomas Brown. But I'm definitely looking forward to that New Orleans game to see something different. I don't
Yeah,
know how much we will see going into Tampa tomorrow, but I definitely expecting to see at least something.
I'll say this, man. When the Atlanta Falcons come to Charlotte in 3 weeks, they better be
Hmm.
ready.
Yeah.
They they better be ready. Cause all that, man, listen, all them fans talking that noise. I mean, Atlanta was lit, man. Was you there for week one?
No, you remember I was following you when Quan because Quan went because I made it to Monday night. I was there for Monday night for our home opener, and I was
Man,
following
listen,
both of
bro.
you guys. Y'all said Atlanta fans were just loose at the mouth talking it.
Oh man, loose man. Boys was vomiting at the mouth, boy. Yeah, them boys are going crazy, man. They ain't making no better the next week they beat Green Bay.
Yep,
Boy,
yep.
that boy was talking reckless, man. Yeah. Yeah, that boy was talking reckless. But, I understand, we get excited, we start to think big and pass, certain parameters. No
Hmm.
way, no way, form, and shape do I think that this Carolina Panthers team can make it to the playoffs. We have a lot. We have a lot that we have to accomplish, and we need a lot of, the teams, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Saints, and the Falcons. They have to lose out. Can that happen? It can, but will it happen?
Yeah,
That's far
we
fetched.
don't know.
We don't know. It's far fetched. That's like throwing brown dirt up in the air and getting gold dust coming back down. That it's hard to do. So, but there's a chance. That's there is a chance, which is crazy, and that's how it always is in the NFC South. Just like last year, you know, we lose out the first part of the season. We go 6-6, could have been 7-5, and we almost make it to the playoffs. We missed the playoffs by one quarter last year. Could that happen again this year? Who knows? And get it falls with the same team again, Tampa Bay. So it's gonna come down to a Tampa Bay game again. Only difference is we're not playing the goat. We're playing Baker.
Yep.
So I'm anticipating Shy Tuttle to really get up in the face of Baker Mayfield tomorrow. I'm expecting probably about 5 batted balls from Baker tomorrow.
I'll
Shy
say
Tuttle's
Burns.
there
Burns will
grinding.
get 2 sacks.
Burns will get 2 sacks.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna happen, man. You got J.C. Horn back, and I need J.C. Horn to go off tomorrow because he got to get me
I got his
1.5.
jersey. Like I
He
said,
he, he
he
got to
just
give me
can't get hurt.
1.5 interceptions on Prize Picks. He
Look,
got to.
I will say this. I'm hoping he gets a pick next week because I'm gonna lose my mind. I will lose
Yeah,
my
man.
mind in Caesar's Dome. I'm gonna lose
Caesar's
my
dome.
mind.
What Poppy said? Poppy said Bryce Young equals QB1, 354 touchdown. Let's go. Win streak starts Sunday. Hey,
Okay.
I
Hey,
don't
hey,
know
hey,
when
Poppy been
streak
standing on that.
starts. Huh?
I said
What you
Poppy
say?
been standing on that three. I said Poppy been standing on that 300 game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, can it happen this week? We got Mike Strong. Emir Smith Marset. Maybe Terrence Marshall Jr. won't be a healthy scratch again. I'm pretty sure that they're going to run Raheem Blackshear. The office may look a lot different tomorrow, man. It might
Nobody
look really
knows.
different.
Nobody really knows what we're gonna be looking at.
That's why I say it might. It might. Not it will. Not it won't. It might. Hopefully it does. I'm
That's a
leaning more
fact.
towards it will. Yeah. So that's
That's a
all that's
fact,
all I'm
man.
saying. Can we flip this script? Can tomorrow be the script flipper? Because listening to Tampa Bay Buccaneers players in their press conference on Thursday, all these guys are saying, man, we're playing for playoffs. That's what their mindset is
Hmm.
at. They're playing to get into the playoffs right now. And every single player said we have to watch out for Carolina because what do they have to lose?
Facts. We have nothing to lose now. We have nothing to lose.
Nothing. We lose one more game, mathematically, we're disqualified from playoff contention. What do we have to lose? Send a freaking
Hmm.
zero blitz at Baker Mayfield. Make Trevor Lawrence get off his spot. Rough up Jordan Love. You know what I mean?
well,
Get
well
after Desmond
I'll
Ritter.
say this. Hey, I'm a homer for Jacksonville
Yeah.
because I actually think you were on that show when we did the preseason. I think you joined us. I
Hmm.
really think Jacksonville can do some damage in the playoffs. I
They got to
really,
get their run
really
game going
do.
back again.
Well, Travis Etienne is finally heating up. Since they've been in London, he's definitely heated up a lot.
Yeah, he got to get his run game going because I've been watching and he ain't the same Travis
Hmm.
Etienne from last year. Did they
He's
get a new
not.
offensive coordinator?
No, they kept the same one. But see, for me, I got Trevor Lawrence on my fantasy league, so that's the reason why too. Where I've been, I'm big on Trevor Lawrence. I'm big on Trevor Lawrence as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
but
we'll
now
see,
go
man.
ahead, man. Like I said, go ahead. If it's somebody else on, I always got to come and support you, man. Like I
Yeah.
said,
Now, ain't nobody else came
it's
up.
a.
They too
Oh,
afraid to
okay.
come up. Hey, it's pinned in the chat. They want to come up. They can come up and talk, man. I just got a simple question. Can we flip the script? I think the Carolina
Hey,
Panthers are
like you
going to flip
said,
the script tomorrow, man.
yeah. Like I said, in a lot of different facets, we can. In a lot of different facets, we can definitely flip the script.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. And then, hey, After that, we got New Orleans. We're playing New Orleans in New Orleans. That's always
Yes,
uh
sir.
that's always a hard stadium to play in, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I went there one
Hmm.
time, and man, you can't even hear yourself. They talk about Seattle's 12th man, the Saints. When they're
And then,
rolling,
and then Arrowhead is up there too.
yeah, Arrowhead's up there too, man. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about Eagles, man, about Lincoln Financial, bro, everything is so spread out, and it takes forever. First of all, it takes forever to walk from the stadium parking lot to the stadium,
To
and
the
then
well, you actually know, I was there, and most of my family is Philly Eagles fans, so I know. Like I said, you got to walk because you got the baseball stadium to the north, and you
right,
got the basketball stadium to the left of the stadium. Trust me, I know exactly what you're talking about.
bro, I stayed right there at that Holiday Inn, right on the backside of Lincoln Financial Center, across the parking lot
Yep.
from where the stadium is at, and that still was a
Where,
long
te-
walk.
where live is, where the little live and the casino and all that
Yes,
is.
yeah,
I
bro,
know exactly where you look. Look, like I said, that's my stomping grounds. Go ahead.
yeah, man. I mean, it's so long, bro, and then you know God forbid you wear your team jersey over there. So here I am wearing the pants because I was at the game when
Oh,
Cam Newton came back and in the fourth quarter with those three touchdowns. I was there. And bro, you talking
look,
about badgering? Oh my gosh.
yes,
I
they
man, I
will
felt like
do
I had to
that.
fight for my life, man.
Look, like I said, my uncle, my cousins were all with me when we went to the training camp, and the fans was like, "You got a Bryce Young jersey, long as it ain't the Cowboys or Giants, we really like Bryce." And I was like,
Yeah,
"Boy," because I already knew what I was doing, but you ain't lied about that. You
yeah,
ain't
yeah,
lied about that.
yeah, man.
But nah, man, like
Yeah,
I said,
man.
I'm in
Well,
the store, man. I had to come support. Like I said, if
oh
y'all
yeah,
haven't already, man, people that's in the chat, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, share the video for our guy Demetrius, man. Again, congrats. He just hit 1,000 this past week, man. Did a nice giveaway for the community. Like you said, let's go ahead and get him to 1,500, man. And then, like I said, that's a seasonal goal because we got a whole 365 to get to 2,000, get another 1,000 underneath his belt going into next year, man. So I definitely
facts.
appreciate you, my guy.
Appreciate you too, man. Appreciate you too, man. You have a good one,
Yes,
man.
sir. Hey, hey,
Yes, sir.
be safe on that road. Be safe on that road. We'll be talking.
Absolutely, most deaf, man. Most deaf.
All right.
Hey guys, so real quick, guys. Tomorrow we're gonna be doing a live game reaction for the game tomorrow. I'm going live at 3:50 tomorrow. So we're gonna do a live show tomorrow, live reaction. Hopefully, it's gonna be a whole lot of screaming and not a whole lot of putting my hands in my face like I did last week, man. You go to the game tomorrow. I hope we. Oh, hey, listen, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, get some video. Get some video, man, and hopefully, them boys will come out on top, man. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, we, the one thing that I've realized, man, about sports, it just takes one thing. Yeah, it takes heart. It takes determination, but it just takes one thing to get your team sparked up. And for the media to have been talking about the Carolina Panthers the way they've been talking about the Carolina Panthers, saying that we don't have any type of offense, which is true, saying that we look anemic, which is true, saying that we have no offensive presence, which is true, you know, that should fuel your fire. You shouldn't be crying about it or feeling sorry about it. Go out there, go out there and make something happen, man. Park's about to have Bryce out here looking like Aaron Rodgers. Hey, now this is fan talk right now. This is this is fan talk. Bryce, I feel that Bryce Young, he played his best game last week. Granted, he didn't throw a touchdown. Um, you know, he didn't throw a touchdown. Granted, he didn't, you know, excel over 200 yards passing. Granted the run game looked bad. I do believe that he played his best game last week. With all that we saw, I think he did. I think he improves on that with this new offensive configuration that we have with Miles. I don't know if y'all saw the video of these boys that was in the stands. that was getting after Miles Sanders and all the players from the Carolina Panthers. It's all over Twitter. I mean, them boys is going in on him, man. Like saying, man, you ain't done nothing this whole year. 1-9, talking to Miles Sanders, going in on them boys, man. Hey, it just takes one thing, man. It just takes one thing. So hey, I think we turn over a new leaf. If you look at the paper, if you look at the screen right now, all those ball up pieces of paper, just think of those as Frank Wright's plays. David Tepper's plays that he wrote up and tried to get to Thomas Brown, man. Hey, we balling it all up. We're rewriting a new script for the Carolina Panthers, man. It starts tomorrow. I believe we win this game 21-14 tomorrow. Bryce throw 2 touchdowns. We get one on the ground. I'm giving Bryce 275 in the air. I think, like Poppy said, it's going to be air Bryce tomorrow. And if it is, I'm going to increase that the following week. Now, next week, I don't want no touchdowns on the ground. I want to see Bryce get touchdowns through the air. I want 3 touchdowns from. If Bryce do good, I'm shooting for 3 touchdowns from Bryce. 21 points just from Bryce alone. Whether hey, if you want to run it in, if you want to throw it, it got to come from Bryce. I don't want him to hand the ball off and give it to the running back or whatever. So, that's how I feel, man. My wife is a big Louisville fan. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Elicio. That's what I'm talking about, man. Hey, I haven't seen you here before. I appreciate it. We won last year without a coach and a good quarterback. Hey, you said without a coach. Hey, we had a coach, Elicio. We had a coach. His name was Steve Wilkes. His name was Big Stevie. Big old Stevie. Yeah, man. Well, yo, listen. That's all I got, man. I just wanted to bring up that point to you guys, man. I think that this is gonna be the game where we flip the script, man. You know, this is it right here. Get ready for it tomorrow, man. Hey guys, if you haven't, and I know you guys probably have, but if you haven't, hit that subscribe button for me, man. Let's get the numbers up, man. If you guys want to support the channel, the Cash App, the Venmo, all donations go to helping this channel grow more. I can bring more content. You see, we've been going, except for maybe Wednesday. Man, I've been giving you back to back to back to back podcasts, man. So, hopefully you guys are liking the content. We hit 1,000. We're almost at 1,100 right now. We hit 1,000 last week. We're like 15 away from 1,100. So I thank you for all the support. Everybody who's been subscribing. Hey, let's get it to 1,500. Let's get it to 2,000. Hey, let's get it to 4,000. You know what I mean? And that's actually one of my goals. My goal is to probably be at 2,500 before preseason start next year. It can happen. I can exceed that goal, but I want to give you guys good content. And dang, we ain't got nothing to lose. Play as aggressively as possible. Exactly. Go. Hey, listen. Go after them. You see, you see they got the ball and it's a 3-4. Man, listen. Send your mama out there. Send everybody. The front door, the kitchen stove. Throw everything at them. Make them try. Make them have to make a play. Yeah, that's what the Steelers used to do. They still do now to a certain extent. But man, if you thought that the Steelers were gonna sit back and play zone, you had another thing coming, man. Them boys lined up, ready to go after you, boy. So hey, that's all I'm saying. We got nothing to lose. Let's go in. Let's try to make it happen, man. But hey, this your host Dimitri with the PPP, man. Panthers Prime Podcast. You know what time it is. Let's go.